Hey everybody, welcome to the Love in Action show with me, Alpa Soni. Before I introduce my guest this evening, just a couple of disclaimers and some announcements. My other channel has got a strike and I've been wiped on Facebook. It's no biggie. I'm surprised I lasted that long. But yeah, it came to me as a bit of a shock, and I didn't even realize I had a strike on my YouTube. And that was from a video that I had done over a year ago. So there's some stuff going on at the moment for sure. But I hope everybody's well. And here we go. Let me introduce my lovely guest here, Sandy Goel. Hello, Sandy.
Hello, Alpa. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you for being here with me today. We've been trying to do this for a while, and today was the right time. It's a pity that my platforms are all deplatformed, and this is the only one, but people are sharing it. So I really appreciate everyone who is here and sharing it. Richard, Ronnie, you know what to do. Manage the chat as well, because there's a lot of bots on my channel. But Sandy, I'd like to introduce this beautiful soul. We've known each other since last summer, and he is the person who introduced me to roots. And this was in June, July, and saying, Alpa, you've got to take it, you've got to take it. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. And it was only until, when was it, Sandy? I think around about September, October, that I started. October. Yeah. And I was like, Sandy, listen, everyone's asking me to do this and that, and this theolite and this, and I'm not someone that's just going to be recommending stuff. But as you all know, I'm a massive roots fan. Why? Because it works. It's really worked for my memory. And many of you know, who's been following my journey from the beginning, I had a whole sort of host of things going on with that. So I started using Zero In, but I still didn't recommend it. And then, yeah, it was around December when I was like completely sold, and of course the clean slate. But Sandy, you have quite a story. So you're the ambassador for the Roots brand. So tell us a bit about your journey and how all of this came about.
Yeah, no, I just want to correct you on one thing, Alpa. It was actually Mark Devlin who told you about root. Do you remember?
This is true. Yes, yeah. Sorry. Well, he told me about it, but it was you that kind of made me that much more informed. Sorry, Mark.
No worries. No worries. Okay. First thing I'd like to say is that I'm just a regular guy. I'm not a qualified health practitioner, doctor, therapist, anything like that. I've had quite a colourful background. I used to be a club promoter. We used to throw lavish. Sorry, say that again.
Spicy.
Yeah, they were pretty spicy parties. I used to promote a club night called Pushka, and we used to do parties in mansions, warehouses, restaurants, art galleries, all that sort of thing. And I was doing that for about 8-9 years. But as you can probably appreciate, Alpa, when you're swimming in an ocean infested with killer sharks, you're going to get bitten, right? So I got bitten quite a lot. I had to leave it. And then I was completely lost. This was back in 2007. I was completely lost. And I prayed to God and I said, all right, God, get me out. What do you want me to do? And I started doing an event management course. And I discovered that I didn't want to do event management because too much hard work for too little pay. I then got a sales job and I was very successful at that sales job. And it was very heart-based because I was selling a product that helped kids with their maths, English and reading. And it was an awesome program and really helped a lot of kids. And I was a top performer there. But you know what these corporates are like? When you're making them a lot of money, they just want more and more out of you. And I left that. I went traveling for a bit. And then I thought, I need some income, but I don't want a job where it's going to be demanding. And I got a job as a security guard. And I started doing that in 2015. And as a security guard, there's no real job prospects. So I was working at Excel a lot, Olympia, Ascot, Winter Wonderland in Hyde Park. So yeah, I had fun. Okay, so how did I get involved with alternative health products and the alternative health arena? This was through my mum, actually. Mum had a very serious stroke in June 2016. It was so serious, she was hospitalized for 6 weeks. And luckily, there was no speech impediment, there was no paralysis. The only thing she did lose was her swallowing reflex, so she's being fed through a tube. But mum was very determined, and to the amazement of the doctors, she got her swallowing reflex back after 3 months. I knew that allopathic medicine or Western, pills, potions, that kind of thing, like, pharmaceuticals, wouldn't get her back to wellness.
Yeah.
And so she carried on taking her meds, but I took her here, there, and everywhere to naturopaths, natural doctors, kinesiologists, nutritionists, to get her back to wellness because she still had high blood pressure and diabetes. 2019, in that summer, probably one of the worst summers of my life, she got diagnosed with very early stage breast cancer, and again went down the natural arena, took her to so-called therapists, got ripped off majorly, like really badly.
Yeah.
And in the end, the NHS dealt with it. They're amazing. They took the tumor out. There was no radiotherapy needed or no chemo needed. However, she did get side effects from the general anesthetic. And
Oh no.
but she recovered. Mum was very determined. She recovered from that within 2 months. January 2020, she passed away very suddenly and unexpectedly from a blood clot to the lung, which
Wow.
pulmonary embolism. And that was a complete shock, as you can imagine, Alpa.
Of course.
And we thought she was getting better. But Mum knew she was going because she said some stuff. She said some stuff 2 weeks prior, like, for example, she was planning a trip to India in March 2020. And she said 2 weeks before she passed away, when I go to India, I want to buy Jasmine and Malika something. Jasmine's my 8-year-old niece and Malika's my 16-year-old. And I said to her, Mum, what do you want to buy? She said, I want to buy them some jewelry because I don't know how long I've got left. I want them to remember me. I ignored that. And I said, Mum, just get them a nice holiday or some education or something. She also, we found out the day after she passed away that after phoning around friends and family, as you do, that she phoned most of them within the 2 weeks or 3 weeks prior to her death. So she's kind of doing the rounds.
Well, the soul knows, right? Isn't
Yeah.
it? I hear these stories all the time, and we don't hear these messages obviously and consciously, but her higher self knew.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And get this, right? I found out about this last year. I used to take Mum to see a flower remedies expert who's a very good friend of mine called Claire Harvey. Look her up. She's amazing. She's got a practice on Harley Street. And Mum used to love going to see her because her and Claire got on really well. And she used to ask me all the time, when I was seeing Claire, when I was seeing Claire. And the week before Mum passed away, I took her up to see Claire in Harley Street, and I used to drive her up. And I stayed in the car for half an hour because I didn't want to get a ticket. And she went up there. And while I was in the car, she made Claire promise that she would lead me, that Claire would lead me to my mission and sole purpose. My son Sandeep is not happy. He's pretty miserable. Can you help him? And Claire thought this was a really odd request, but promised. Mum passed away a week later. That was in January 2020. February, so the next month, I go and see Claire to deal with my grief. And at the end of the session, she says to me, there's a new zeolite product coming out. And I said, Claire, I'm not in the space right now. Send me the details and I'll take a look. March 2020, we all know what happens. We're under full lockdown. My work dried up. She invites me onto a webinar with Clayton, the founder of Root, and Dr. Dory. And I instantly warmed to Clayton because he's great. He's very straight talking. And
he's funny.
Yeah, he's very funny. And he was talking about stuff that I'd never heard anyone say before, which was that the root cause of your ill health is toxicity. And unless we remove the toxins, we are not going to get back to good health. And what he meant by toxins was the environmental pollution that we are bombarded by on a daily basis through emissions, vehicle emissions, factory emissions, through the things they spray, through
our own homes, the chemicals.
The chemicals. Yeah, and you just cannot. And I got really angry. I'm like, not with Clayton, but with all these guys I took Mum to see. Like, they should have known this. They didn't even address the toxicity. And had I known about this, then Mum would still possibly be here.
Yeah.
And he was talking about Clean Slate, and I asked him some questions. I asked him if it can help with the C word, the big C, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, etc., etc. And basically the answer was yes. And I bought the product. I got it in April 2020. This was just Clean Slate, and I experienced amazing results within a very short space of time. Brain fog massively reduced, better energy, physical, mental, less triggered, especially by the lockdowns and also losing Mum recently. And very better sleep and very, very, very lucid dreams. And back then I was quite shy, and I used to ask Clayton on the call. I asked him, I'm having really lucid dreams. What's going on? And he said, it's because your pineal gland is being decalcified.
Yeah.
And I was amazed. I was like, what? This decalcifies your pineal gland? I had spent at least $500-600 on crappy supplements which claim to decalcify the pineal gland. And this does it as a sorry, Caroline's trying to just messaging me about.
No, well, while you do that, I'll just explain to everyone. Caroline, who's joining us shortly, will be here soon. Caroline is a naturopath and a blood analyst. Is that right, Sandy?
Yeah, live blood analyst.
And yeah, live blood analyst. So she's got some really juicy things to share with us as well. But again, just being mindful of, what we can and can't say. So the sharp thing, as you all know, will be, what. But just want to acknowledge everybody here. Ronnie, Richard, email me. I want to say something to you. I've got something for you. So Richard, my email address. So make sure you email me, and Ronnie. Hi, Michael. How are you doing? Hello, Nick. Everyone that's here, thank you for being here. Amy, Linda. Yeah, it just feels weird not on my main channel because they've shadow banned me on this one. And normally this is on Facebook, so it reaches a really big audience. And it was a bit of a shock Like literally, just as I was prepping for the
Yeah, I
show,
was really
Sandy.
shocked to hear that. Yeah, I felt really sorry actually for you.
Honestly,
So,
I'm not attached to it. It was just
yeah,
unexpected, you know, because there's a lot of people on my Facebook that really would have been looking forward to this, and they don't really go on YouTube because nobody gets
yeah,
the
sure.
notifications.
Yeah,
So everyone's going to share. So it will get to the right people,
yeah.
but the live is not as busy as usual. But yeah, as you were
So,
saying,
so,
yeah,
so, yeah,
Clayton.
so this decalcifies the pineal gland really, really quickly. And I've got to say, my life has completely transformed since being on these root products because they work on a quantum level. Clayton has and Christina, Clayton is the founder of Root and Christina is his wife, who you've had on your show.
Yeah,
Awesome people, awesome interviews.
love them.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Dr. Christina, she's galactic. I
Yeah, she's not
absolutely
from here.
so much
She's not from here.
love and respect for her because both from a science perspective and a spiritual perspective, she's balanced on both. And then you've got divinity, you know, you have science
Yeah.
and spirituality. What does that equate to? And your story, thank you for sharing your story, Sandy, because as hard as it may seem, that's and sorry for your loss, unexpectedly as well. And you and I have spoken about this. Sandy's one of the sweetest and lovely, genuine, authentic souls that I know, and sharing your stories. You know, it's never easy, but sometimes a crisis can lead you to your path. Yeah, and it can be a blessing. And I'm pretty sure, and if not 100% sure, that your mum's watching over you.
Well,
And
actually,
you've
do
got
you
her
know
big
what,
things.
Alpa? I had a reading today from a lady called Kim, who's an awesome psychic, and she connected to Mum, and Mum is really happy where she is. She's really,
Oh,
really, really happy where she is, and she's free. And she wasn't happy here, you know.
no.
She was
Well,
sick. She spent too much, like every waking hour, in front of the TV watching ZTV.
with my
um,
mum.
yeah, unless she went out for shopping or whatever. So she wasn't happy here, but she's happy, you know. So
Yeah.
and she's guided me to this from the and we're having such an impact on. Basically, we're doing what I try to do for Mum for thousands of people.
See, you know,
Yeah.
and it genuinely is reaching to a lot of people. You know, there's so many people recommending this stuff because it works. It really, really does. For me, I'm a massive fan of the Roots brand. The Zero In. I had to take 4 today
Brilliant.
because
But sorry, go ahead.
yeah, just because I was just doing so many things today and I wanted to be fresh for today. So I just took 4. I mean, I can't take more than that, but yeah, it's like you feel a bit wired sometimes, but yeah, no, it's good. It's curcumin.
Well, yeah,
Really good.
I actually call them the Limitless pill from the
Yeah,
Bradley Cooper movie, and I call
it
Clayton
is.
Bradley because of the Limitless movie, because they give you so much energy and focus, and they really calm you down. They help with your stress as well, and they
Oh,
just help you.
Catherine's here.
Catherine's there, brilliant. Okay,
Oh, isn't she amazing? Everyone big up to Catherine.
yeah,
She's such a lovely human. I love you, Catherine. We were just
yeah,
chatting
she's going
earlier
to
on.
show some awesome stuff. Alpa, before I show some stuff, I just want
Yeah.
to say that everyone's going to have the opportunity, if you're in the UK, to meet Clayton and Christina next weekend, Easter weekend, because Root have got a stand at the Mind, Body and Spirit show at Olympia in London. So come and see us. We're going to be there from Good Friday to Easter Monday. So
Yeah.
I'll be manning the stand, and you'll be
Catherine's
able
going to
to
be
meet
there
them.
too.
Sorry, say that again.
Catherine's going to be there too, and I will as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. And Caroline's going to be there. Clayton's going to be doing a talk on the pineal gland on the Saturday, and Christina's going to be doing a workshop on anti-aging on the Monday. So come and see us. Right. So what I wanted to do before Caroline comes on.
Yep. Let's just do this.
Yeah. Okay. So I wanted to show because.
Oh, you ready?
Yeah. Can you see that?
Can you make it larger?
Let me see if I can make it larger. Is that better?
Yeah. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. You guys have, well, Alpa, you've talked to Clayton, you've talked to Christina about these products. People want to know that this works. So I just wanted to quickly show you that this works on animals. I'm not going to show any human stuff. And then Caroline is going to come on and talk about her background. And then she's going to talk about her findings. She doesn't work for Root. She's a naturopath, live blood analyst, completely independent, become a very close friend of mine. And she's done some analysis and she's going to show you some mind-blowing findings. So I'm just going to read this medical disclaimer. The information provided is for educational purposes and is not intended as medical advice or a substitute for the medical advice of a physician or other healthcare professional. You should not use this information for diagnosing a health or fitness problem or a disease. You should always consult with a doctor or other healthcare professional for medical advice or information about diagnosis and treatment. Okay, so that's out of the way. So I just wanted to show you about how this is impacting people's pets. What I'm going to do, because obviously this is going to be on your YouTube channel, so people can pause and they can just read through. Yeah. So here's a Labrador that had arthritis and was struggling to walk. And after being on CleanSlate, is now walking again.
Yeah. Catherine said, because Catherine's doing really, promoting the this for pets. And she was just telling me it's working phenomenally with the one who she recommends it to.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I was talking to her on Monday and she was saying that she's totally blown away about how it's impacting the animal kingdom. And pet owners are absolutely over the moon. So this is a really cool one, Alpa. So there's a guy called Matt Senna. I believe it's Matt Senna. He's got a fish. And he put some drops of CleanSlate into the tank. The fish changed color from that to that. Yeah. Look at that. Let me see. Yeah.
Let me see if I can make the screen bigger on my end for me so I can see it.
So pics a day one. So I think after about a month, the fish changed color.
Look at that.
Now, there's no placebo effect with animals, right? Okay, so bulldog with a cyst. The cyst looks like is helping. Oh, she's not had a new cyst since being on CleanSlate. This is cool. This is my friend Caesar, his dog Teddy. Teddy keeps hassling him for CleanSlate and won't leave him alone. This is a bulldog who had an ear problem. The owner applied CleanSlate, put a few drops in
the ear.
Yeah, and it
in the ear.
Up. Yeah, cleared up.
No way. Not just so you can actually put it on.
Yeah. You can put it. Oh, don't put it in your eyes because it will sting because it's got trace minerals in it from the sea salt.
You can put it in the because
yeah, absolutely. Put it in the ear.
He's got a bit of a situation in his ear.
Yeah. Try it. Okay. What's this? Right. Another dog with joint problems. a cat, mold on the leg, and applied Restore. Restore is another root band product. Absolutely
God, yeah,
awesome.
I forget about that. I forget recommending that. It's
Yeah,
like candy.
it tastes absolutely delicious. Clayton says it tastes like orange creamsicles, and it is so good for your skin. It's
Yeah.
so good for your
Yeah, we
gut.
put it on our skin in the live
Yeah,
show.
yeah. This is my buddy Mark Hamilton Taylor, his dog Kaiser, who's got a spring in his step. He's only been on the products for a few weeks, I think. Okay, there's a few human testimonials there, but I'll show a few.
Is this on the Facebook page? Yeah.
Yeah.
For
So we've got a Facebook group called Rooted Pets. So if you type in Rooted Pets into Facebook, we'll let you in. Maybe Alpa can put a link. Into that on the
yeah,
description.
I'll put it on there. I
Yeah.
won't be able to do it through Facebook.
Yeah,
It's
no
not on
worries.
there anymore.
Okay. What else we got? More bulldogs.
And Caroline's just come here. He's waiting in the room.
So I'll just right. This is a really cool one. A dachshund. So I think a dachshund is a sausage dog, right? Intervertebral disc disease, was in PET. After taking CLEANSLATE, she's pretty much back to normal.
Yeah.
What else we got? So I just wanted to show you just a few testimonials, and then in a few weeks we can maybe show some human ones as well. Okay.
Yeah.
But
No.
I won't let. So Caroline's going to come on, and she's going to show some awesome stuff. So shall I stop sharing? I'll stop sharing.
No, I've done that. Hi, Caroline.
Hi, good evening.
Nice to meet
Thank
you.
you for having me on. Yeah, you too. I've heard a lot about you. So
I heard loads about you from Sandy, so I'm excited. I didn't watch anything else. I thought, let me be a guest on my own show when I listen to you speak.
oh, wonderful. Okay, yeah. Because I've been doing some research, and Sandy's he likes what I'm doing, so he thought it'd be very interesting to show your viewers what we've discovered.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think you've been on Simon's as well, Simon's channel, right, recently, and
yes, that's right.
Noise. So I'm really humbled that you're here. So thank you. So tell us a bit about yourself, Caroline.
Yeah, well, I'm a naturopath. I've been a naturopath for, I think I qualified 2000, 1999, 2000. And I'm also a live blood microscopist, which I've been doing for 22 years as well. So, just been helping people for 22 years, basically, as much as I can with various health problems. And I was brought up in New Zealand, which is a very healthy lifestyle. I had a really healthy upbringing. We'd just go to the beach and, catch fish and pick up what we call pippies. I think they're called cockles here in the UK. And that'll be our dinner with a fried egg. We'll go to the orchards and pick fruit, organic fruit. And my life was just spent on the beach and in the pools. It was just, lovely. And then when I came to England, I came to school here for a few years, and I noticed a real difference in just the health of the girls and boys here, and their diet, and the fact that they're always trying to skip out of PE, physical education, whereas in New Zealand, that was like the subject we all wanted to get to for the day. So there was like a real difference. I think that's where my interest in health, was sort of born, started. So, and then years later, I came back to London and I worked in central London. And I think just working, it was so removed from my usual lifestyle, working in central London and traveling on the train every day. It's hard work when you do that. And I think it somehow brought my immune system down, and I ended up with what was called yuppie flu at the time, and I was diagnosed with post-viral fatigue, and I was very, very sick for about a year and a half. And nobody could really help me in the orthodox medicine side of things. So I went back to New Zealand and I saw a top naturopath in New Zealand, and he was a live blood microscopist as well. And he showed me exactly what was going on with me and my body. And within 6 weeks, I was well again. And I was, doing my jogging every day and what have you. So I just decided there and then that's what I wanted to do. So that's kind of how I got into what I do. Yeah. And
Nice.
so it's just, it's been an interesting journey, really. Just transitioning from when I was doing sales and marketing then into the natural health realm and helping people. So people come to see me for all different reasons. I've been mainly focusing on women's health and hormones in the last sort of, 4 or 5 years, and also breast cancer prevention, because I was very aware of this, breast cancer exploding. And there's a lot that women can do to help prevent getting that through diet and nutritional intervention. So that was my drive, and I became a speaker for the Women's Health Institute, delivering that talk, and also on menopause. And then COVID hit, and somehow during this period I got introduced to Sandy, and I was introduced to the Root Brand products. And it's been just an interesting time as well, because I was so blown away by their products, just by the way they've been formulated and developed. And Christina Rahn, with her proprietary blend, and how she's managed to take her knowledge from the pharmaceutical industry and put that into nutraceuticals, and in a nanotechnology, sort of a quantum formulation. And anything quantum has its own intelligence. So then I began to look at the products under the microscope. So things have sort of gone, in a different area. And I just was blown away by what I saw under the microscope with these products, because they started to, especially the CLEANSLATE, which we'll come on to and I'll show you, but there is an intelligence, it seems, within the product. Because of the nanotechnology within it. So, and also because of the way it's been developed by Dr. Christina Rahn. So I think that's what we want to show you today as well.
Yeah. Just a quick question: Did you have you started noticing a trend in the recent 2 years of more people coming to you, especially recently, for reasons that we all know why?
I've been just overwhelmed, to be honest. I've been so busy. In fact, I've got to the point where I've now not turned people away, but I can't see everybody there and then. I'm now having to wait to see people, because people have had issues from having the actual disease, whatever it is, and also from, taking the sharp intervention. And there's been, there's certain things that are predominant, certain conditions that are predominant after having the sharp intervention, especially with women coming to see me. And
I've been sorry. You're saying women that come to see you after having the sharp intervention. I'll give you an example. My cousin has had it, and she fell pregnant. Right. So, there's this noise about that women are not going to be able to conceive, but she had both. Right. And she's now pregnant. So it kind of contradicts the narrative that we are saying that, this is going to affect a woman's fertility. But there's a lot of things going on, as we all know, within these 2 years. But okay, so she's fallen pregnant, but there could be some complications within the pregnancy. Is that
we don't know, and I think
it's so difficult speaking code.
It really does depend on, I think it's different. I mean, there's been different scientists out there who've said that different batches have worked differently. You've probably heard that information as well. So, and also whether it's actually just stayed in the muscle, gone slowly into the body, or whether it's actually hit a vein and gone into the body in a different way. I think it's just different for everybody, depending on which one you had, where and when on Earth, as far as I can tell by the information coming out.
Yeah, gosh. Well, you must be inundated now, though.
It's been a very interesting time. I think it's a lot of complications that I don't usually have to deal with. You know, usually it's just pretty more or less straightforward. But now the cases are a little bit more complicated. And then when I do live blood analysis, I've seen things in the blood that I have not really seen before. So I belong to a group of live blood analysts around the world, and we're all comparing, visuals and notes on what we're all discovering. So we're discovering similar things, similar pictures, and clients.
You're going to share this with us now, aren't you? Let me just.
I'm going to share with you some information.
Let me just get the screen ready. So on your end, just press the share, and then I can just add it to this share. Yeah. So while you're doing that, just say hi to everyone who's joined. Thank you for joining. Good to see everyone here.
See what I'm doing.
Hi, Shivite Struggernuth. How you doing? There we go. 1 second. Yep, you can share now.
Okay. I'm just wondering how to share. Okay.
I think on the screen below there is that plus sign. So I've given you permission, so you should be able to do it.
Okay, just bear with me. Here we go. This is the one I want to. No, that's not the one. We've got 2 documents called slides. One moment.
No, don't worry.
Here we go. This is the one I want to share here.
Okay, let's do it. Is it working?
The size limit is 50 megabytes. Please choose a smaller file.
Oh no. No, it's fine. StreamYard's a little bit of a tricky one.
Caroline, I have got them downloaded. Shall I share what I've got?
Yeah, you share. If you can do it your end, and then I can just talk through them.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Just bear with me while I.
So while he looks for it.
Yeah.
So obviously, what we were making reference to earlier on, while he's looking for that, just expand. Yeah, like obviously, Clean Slate is helping with that. I can be a testament to that with people that I've sent it to, and I'm sort of noticing it's not quick because they're taking the 3. One of my friend's father has become paralyzed in one of his legs, unfortunately, after taking the 3rd time. So, it's a bit of a journey for him. But I sent that across very recently. So I hope that, that helps.
That will help. Yeah. There's, did you send across the Trinity? Because that's what's being shown to be really helpful. Taking all three, the Clean Slate, the Restore, and the Zero In together. So what that does, what that's shown to do, is bring down all the inflammation markers with the C-reactive protein and the pro-BNP for heart inflammation. So it's actually just it's calming the body down. What have the doctors put down the paralyzed leg to? What do they say about it?
Still trying to find answers.
Okay, yeah, because there's such thing as Guillain-Barré. Yeah. Post-sharp intervention. Have you found them, Sandy?
Right.
Yeah, I have. I just wanted to ask you, do you want to the blood after the sharp intervention? I haven't got that downloaded, but I can get it from a YouTube video. Do you want me to show that first, or do you want to do the actual magnetic particles first?
I suppose as we're talking about the sharp intervention, maybe we could.
Okay, just bear with me while I find this. So, all right, just bear with me.
So you mentioned something that he could have got after it.
Yeah, there's a thing called Guillain-Barré, so it affects the nervous system and can cause paralysis initially post sharp intervention. Sometimes it can be just something that is fleeting, where the body then recovers from that. It's a toxicity. Sometimes it can last months, and sometimes it can last years or a lifetime. So to try and clean the body up would be the best path, really, to do what you can just to detox the body.
$67. You can make as many videos as you want, and you'll never need to pick up a camera.
Once he's got that, just yeah.
So I would get him to take all 3.
Okay, I'm ready. So I'm going to start sharing, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
So just do that, and it'll show on my screen.
Can you see that?
We should.
Hang on.
It'll come up in a second.
There we go.
Here we go. Yay, we're there.
Okay. So let me just see what we've got here. Right. So this is a picture taken from the injection site of somebody who had the sharp intervention. This was 24 hours later.
Make it a bit bigger, Sandy. Just press the there we go. That's it.
Yeah, perfect. So, I mean, what we're seeing here is when we're looking at red blood cells, they should be lovely and round, like, bubbles, when you're blowing bubbles. And these have got very jagged edges. So the membrane edge is compromised because of the element of toxicity within the system. The membrane just doesn't deal with that. And you can see it's just all collapsed in on itself. So when the cells are like this, they're not going to be delivering oxygen and nutrients and taking away waste products. It's going to affect the oxygenation of the tissue as well within the body. So, people having issues post injection, still with breathing, etc. Sort of upper respiratory problems that seem to linger can be down to just at cellular level, the cells. So people are having up to 4 months or more, respiratory problems. So while those cells renew and new ones come along. So yeah, that was quite shocking actually to see that picture, because that's quite extreme to see that many what we call poikilocytes in the blood.
Wow. It looks scary.
So this is what blood should look like. Just lovely and healthy and all bouncing off each other. They shouldn't be attracted to each other either. So they should just be moving like through a stream. And so you can see
how long after was this? After taking the clean. This is after taking the clean slate, right? All 3.
No, this is just showing an example of clean blood. Yeah. So basically the clean slate wouldn't really repair cells. It's your body that's going to repair cells, but the clean slate is going to help you. It's going to help clean up your body. Yeah.
It's like, there you go. I'm going to drink about 10 bottles tonight.
Okay, I'm going to move on. Do you want to, shall I show your blood before clean slate and after, or shall I show the magnetic?
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah. Okay. Show mine before and after.
I did take 2 drops of clean slate last night, but I just wanted to show my before and after blood sample. I'm going to take 10.
So this is your blood before taking clean slate, right, Caroline?
Yeah. So this was just showing how it moves. There, it's a video. So this is blood just sort of flowing normally as it should do.
And then this is blood after taking how many drops?
I think I did 10 drops, and I think this is about 20 minutes.
Wow, really moving.
So you can see there was an improvement in that. So what that tells me is the zeta potential went up. So we know that the nanoparticles, the zeolite nanoparticles, have a very positive charge. So the zeolite crystals have a very powerful positive charge. On the outside of our cells, they should have a positive charge as well. So I think when we take the clean slate, it just helps to help charge up the net negative charge on the outside of our red blood cells. I think that's what we're witnessing there.
Yeah.
So
not make this up, can you?
This is an experiment I did on a medicine, a very common medicine, taken around the world to help with infection, to help clean up, bacteria in our system. And I'd seen on the internet that somebody had dissolved one of the capsules into some water, and that they had these magnetized particles. So I thought, oh, I'm going to try that. I'm going to see if I can find these. And if I do, I'll put them under the microscope and have a look at them, So it's what I do on my Saturday nights. So I was really surprised when I dissolved. I found this old packet in my home, and it was from 2013. So I thought, well, surely not, because this was a recent video. So I dissolved one of these capsules, and just the outside capsule, the gelatin capsule, and lo and behold, we found these magnetized particles. You see?
Whoa.
So if you swish the water around, they disappear. But the minute you put the magnet up to the glass, then they appear. I was so surprised at that. So I thought, wow, it's true. So then I had the job of, you can see they're just so highly magnetized through the glass.
Wow.
So then I had the job of taking those particles out of the water and putting them into, putting them on a slide. What's this one?
That's when you put mixed it, because I said, right, mix it with Clean Slate. Let's see what it does.
Yeah, that's right. So Sandy said to me, put some drops of Clean Slate in it and see what it does to those nanoparticles or those magnetic particles. And so I left it, I think it was 48 hours it was. And you can see like it's got reduced magnetic pull.
Yeah.
Because the Clean Slate has very powerful negative charge.
Yeah.
Which is what it is designed to do, to go in, naturally they have a negative charge, but I know they've polarized them to be more of a negative charge. And that's what, when we're looking at heavy metals, they have a very positive charge, and that's how zeolites go in and pick up heavy metals and take them out of the body. That's how they do that job. So we can see that the negative charge, they're not as attracted to the magnet as they were to begin with. So that was an interesting experiment as well.
Okay, so I'm going to show what Clean Slate looks like under the microscope. I'm not going to show I'll show the Enterprise after this one.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, so I put just Clean Slate, not with any blood, under the microscope, and I left it for, it was all very pretty, and I left it for a couple of hours, and I came back to it. And I noticed two things when I came back. First was that picture, which I didn't really understand what that was. It was like layers. And then the second one was this, like all these lines had formed. And all the crystals, the big crystals were on the lines. They seem to favor being on the lines, or whether they form the lines, I'm not sure. And I think in this video, you'll see, I think this is the video where I'm just going along. You'll see how the crystals are on the lines mainly.
Yeah, looks like a galaxy.
Yeah, it's like a galaxy. But I was just so amazed by that. And they were so beautiful. These crystals were showing this ultraviolet light,
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. It's like colors of the crown chakra. And of course, it's having an effect on our pineal gland.
I mean, they were just beautiful to look at. And I was just thinking, what are these lines, And then later on, when we were discussing this with Clayton and Dr. Christina Ram, she was explaining about the quantum aspect and how it has its own intelligence, and how when she developed these products in the lab, you know, she played music as well.
And she sung to them as well, right? She sung to the
she
formula.
sung to them as well. Yeah, and she's done a lot of things that are slightly different in her blends, and I think this is reflective under the microscope.
100%. Well, that's blown me away. I didn't know that. When we had our interview, we talked about many things, but she is extraordinary.
Right.
She's galactic, and she has that intention. So we spoke about this, about intention before we do anything. So the intention before we started this show, the intention before we eat our food, and intention carries a very strong energy. And I recall us speaking about this, and this is powerful. And we don't apply that. We don't apply that we're a force where our energy is powerful. Should we have the inclination to sort of, you know, see that more? But people are desensitized to the power, their own power. And when you come into your own power and you have a magnetic intention, even if you are not feeling 100%, your own personal will and power has so much force. And this is galactic. Like, look at the colors they represent.
I know. It is. It's like a microcosm. It's in itself. And in fact, you know, the environment.
Light.
Pardon?
It's like ultraviolet light, you know, like
I know.
just flashing within.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even
you know what? Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, even our internal environment, you know, is out of this world. If people could only just see their cells, you know, when they get the chance to see their cells, they think, wow, they make that connection with their inner self. So they start to make better choices, because until you see your cells and whether they're healthy or not healthy based on your choices that you make on a daily basis, you know, and it's not even just food. It's, as you say, your intention, your thoughts have an effect on your health and the health of your cells. It makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
Wow.
I just want to say as well, Clayton gave a really good tip, probably last year or the year before, because this bottle here, Clean Slate, is full of crystals and they carry intention. So if you hold the bottle and you pray for whatever, you know, better health or whatever, the crystals will carry that energy.
I believe that. Yeah. Through what we can see here, I really believe that.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to show this, right? Check. Okay, here we go.
Which is like Dr. Emoto's work. Yeah, this was the most lovely crystal I found. It almost looked like Starship Enterprise, you know, from what's that program?
Star Trek.
Star Trek, that's the one. Yeah, it's the shape of Starship Enterprise. But it was just, that was the biggest crystal I found when I looked at it that day. And I was just blown away by that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was quite emotional, wasn't
it? Coincidence that the background I chose is similar to this for our show.
I was thinking that. I was wondering whether you'd use the background from the image, you know, for the show.
Yeah.
It's so similar.
There's no synchronicities.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is Restore under the microscope. The reason I've taken a picture of it down, you know, with the eyepiece, which I see, is because I use a dark field microscope and everything is usually black. That's why it's unusual to see the purple on the screen, you know, the ultraviolet light of the zeolite crystals. That was amazing anyway, because this would just show up as black and white on my screen, because I don't have that same intensity that the zeolites do. But this is, you can see the beautiful curcumin you were just talking about.
Yeah.
And also they've got the sugar cane, which is the polycosanol, you know, inside that formula as well. So it's very pretty, that beautiful golden color.
And
when you see it like that.
Oh, sorry.
Pardon?
My friend's just one of my friends just she's just joined the chat, Madonna. I gave her the Restore for the first time with two of the 0-ins. she's very healthy, touch wood, and she took it because she's just been running around and doing bits and pieces. So as soon as she took both together, she goes, "Oh my God, like I'm feeling like a surge of energy here." I have a question actually. So people who are very toxic, yeah, and I've had a lot of battles with my own health. I have to take 4 sometimes, and Dr. Christina and I discussed this because we both have had similar sort of issues with our health, Lyme and lupus and what have you, whatever labels they are in the medical fraternity. So for me, if I don't take it for a week, so I forgot to order it for 3 weeks, I just went downhill quite a bit. And as soon as I reordered it, it's slowly sort of, starting to improve again, my health, my sort of brain fog. But it was almost like I went back to square one because I didn't order it for 3 weeks.
Right.
But people who aren't, and like her feedback was phenomenal because she took it for the first time. She only just tried it, the Restore, and I didn't realize taking all 3 would have a very a larger impact than just taking the Zero in on its own. I mean, I take all 3, but people who are toxic, I think if they're expecting like an overnight fix, it's not the case. It has to be like a consistent use. And I'm attesting to that.
Yeah, it does. It's like anything, and we're trying to get away from just pop a pill and you're fine. It's not about that. It's about everything. It's about not only what you do with your lifestyle, exercise, your diet, your nutrition, your thoughts, detoxification, how much you sweat. It is everything. But
amalgams.
These do, pardon?
The metal mercury amalgams. And I think that's one of mine removed, but that's a consistent thing. People forget about that. Yeah, because if you haven't,
it's so true.
You're constantly, it's the vapor burning all the time in your mouth. So it's, you get rid of toxicity, but then you eat your food and you've got, remnants of it. So we have to be, it has to be an awareness of the collective, everything that you're doing collectively, not just saying, right, I'm going to take all 3. But yeah, you're right. Our thoughts and what we eat, our diet, everything is so important. And then these are tools, these are things that can help and assist you, so definitely.
Yeah, it's so true. If you give the body the right nutritional tools, then it's the body that heals you. It's not what you're taking as such, but I think with these products, they are very special and they do get into cell. I think this is part of the speciality of them because of Dr. Christina Rahm and her history. She knows how to get product into cell. So I think this is the difference, because you can take a lot of products and there's a lot of caking agents, a lot of stuff in there that shouldn't be in there that then the body has to deal with. And, it's not necessarily because you're taking it, it's going to get absorbed even, if your gut's not very healthy. So this is the benefit of taking Restore as well, because it's helping to repair the gut. So you're more likely to absorb nutrients, not only just from the nutrients you're taking, nutritional supplements, but from your food. So it's everything. It's looking at the big picture.
100%. And curcumin is powerful. I love it. In fact, the root. So in the basic diet, we call it haldi, and we use it in all our food. So turmeric, but this is another version. So there's the yellow one and the curcumin, which we call amba haldi. And I didn't realize, I didn't make the connection until I'm like, oh my God, this is kind of like Ayurvedic medicine as well, because that's one of the key ingredients is curcumin. And now you see curcumin injections, IV. I had that done recently as well. It's powerful and potent, going straight into the blood.
Yeah, powerful anti-inflammatory. Wow. Okay. How did you feel on that?
Phenomenal. Yeah, it was good. Really, really good. The inflammation reduced significantly. So this was in the 3 weeks when I had that lull.
Right.
So
okay.
Can I just add something? What Christina has done, she's used a process called quantum nanoemulsion technology in these formulations. And that basically means that they're made bioavailable, which means that they go straight, the ingredients go straight into the cells and do what they're supposed to do. So, Caroline, with what you've seen with the quantum aspect, the lines and the bright, shiny, starry crystals, obviously you think it's good for our health. Do you think those crystals are instructing the cells what to do to optimize our health, to fix our cells, to get us back to good health?
Well, I mean, I think Clayton touched on this, didn't he? You know, at one point. I just think this, the way they've been, the proprietary blending, the way she's formulated these products and at quantum level, I think it must be doing something, you know, special at cellular level, because there's just so many people having so many good results from it. So, you know, it's hard to say. I can't really say, but they are very special for so many different reasons. And I think it's just worth everyone sort of like having a try, really, because I think we're so bombarded in today's world with toxicity. And when you've had someone like Dr. Christina Rahm make these products specifically for that reason, she sort of knew intuitively that that was her mission in life, you know, to do this. I think it's, you know, it's just worth trying, people who do have any health issues to give it a go. And it's just so interesting because you don't need to have a whole lot of it as well. Just, you know, you start off with just a few drops a day with the clean slate and build up from there. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's doing well worldwide, available. And
I mean, in this current economic and global climate, the company is expanding rapidly because the products are so good. Yeah. The word is just spreading. And we've now got over 70,000 customers worldwide. I remember back in the day, like this time last year, we had about maybe 10,000, 5,000.
Wow. Okay.
So it's because people are getting amazing results from them. And like Caroline said, I mean, I take 5 drops in the morning and 5 drops at night, and my bottle will last me for 7 weeks. That costs me about $10 a week. You know, a coffee in Starbucks would cost you £4.
Yes. If you put it in perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and like Caroline said, you start, you build up, and the first bottle, if you follow the dosage guidelines that we've got, not on the back of the bottle, but you start with 1 drop in the morning, 1 drop at night, and then gradually build up. This will last you at least 3 months, the first bottle, if you start to,
So I can just add in here, because I've done my own sort of research as well on Clean Slate, working with clients who do have heavy metal toxicity. So we do, you know, standard tests via laboratories, you know, like urinalysis test to see what the heavy metal load is with the client. And so I've put clients on Clean Slate and we've done before and after. So taking Clean Slate, I had a client who took 20 drops twice a day. So I put on a really high dose because I'm just working with it to see, you know, what effect it has. So then 2 months later, was it 2 months? 2.5 months later, we did a retest. Now she was high in lead and mercury and gadolinium as well, because she'd had some of the dye injected into her for a scan, you know, when they use the MRI. Scanning technology. Anyway, so after 2.5 months, you could see that her lead and her mercury had come down. We're still working with her. It had come down significantly, and we're going to do another test next month, actually. So she's still taking 20 drops twice a day, and hopefully we're going to see those come completely down. So it's just interesting to see. And the gadolinium came completely down. It was gone. So the lead and the mercury is obviously more deep-seated. And then what we saw was nickel then started to appear, which wasn't there in the first test. So I think what zeolites are doing is starting to clean up the cells, you know. So things, it's like when you're cleaning a pan and you've got to get it all dirty before it gets clean, you know, with the scrubbing brush. It's like that. I think also it goes in and it's finding other metals and cleaning up the system. So it's going to be interesting to do the next test for her. Yeah. It's because I like to just do tests, you know. I like to try and test in other ways, test a product. So I can see it does work. And I've got another test coming back now as well for another client.
Yeah. So people can find you. I've put Caroline's web address on the description below. And do you do consultations privately over Zoom, or people obviously for the blood analysis have to come to you? But how can people find you?
Yeah, I do telemed.
Get in touch with you.
Sorry, on my website, carolineMansfield.com, and I do telemed consultations, online consultations. I do dry blood analysis as well. So people who can't actually come and see me for live blood analysis, dry blood analysis looks at coagulation morphology. It's slightly different than cellular morphology, which is live blood analysis looking at the cells. But it gives us just as much information as live blood analysis, but just in a slightly different picture format. So yeah, so people can, if they want to, before they start Clean Slate, try and see what their blood is doing, and then go on Clean Slate or the Trinity for a couple of months or more, and then get their dry blood tested again if they're not in a position to come and see me for live blood analysis. Yeah, so but if people want live blood analysis, then I do that face to face as well.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, look, it's been an absolute pleasure having both of you on the show, and sorry about all the sort of technical things I was experiencing today. Everyone who's joined, thank you so much for being here. Please share this with friends and family that you think could use this and benefit from this information. I'd really appreciate that. And my
Alpa, can I add something?
Sure. I was just going to say.
Yeah. So if you want to try these products, click on the link below, therootbrands.com/Alpa. Now, we have a 30-day money-back guarantee, and I handle the returns for the UK. And let me tell you, I hardly get any. They come through now and again. I maybe had like 3 or 4 since January, amongst thousands of customers we have here. So it's risk-free. And come and see us next weekend, Good Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Easter Monday at the Mind, Body and Spirit show at Olympia in London, where you can meet Clayton and Christina, and we'll be there as well.
Yeah, and I'll be there too. Yeah, and it's been wonderful having you both. And as I was saying, everyone, please share this with people who you think can benefit, friends, family, so they can see. Sometimes we can share stuff or show things and say things, but people just think, oh, it's just another supplement. And I have tried many zeolites, and I've stuck to this, and you can't get any better than your money back if it doesn't work for you. So we're really confident in the product, and I hope it's helped you in some way. Just on a parting note, Caroline, is there anything else you want to leave my audience with?
Oh my gosh. No, so well, thanks for having me on. Just to say, if you do have any health issues, and health is a journey, and you just have to work on a day-by-day basis. It's like a drip effect. It's like if you just, if you're eating badly, it's a drip effect, and by the time you get to your 40s or 50s, you notice you're starting to have health issues, But the body is so good at repairing itself, so it's never too late to start to turn things around. So just make a start with something, just one thing a day, just cutting out something that you shouldn't be doing, or adding in something like the Root brand, or just to try and help the body, because the body can do amazing things with the right support. Yeah.
And having that awareness, and the awareness to really want to heal, it's a mental thing as well. So it's a commitment to yourself, and doing the necessary things, taking the necessary action to really heal. And we all are on a healing journey. These 2 years haven't been the most easiest, but yet transformative for many people. We're learning so much. We're connecting with our brothers and sisters much better. So, you know, perception is everything, and intention. Those are the two things that I try to live by. You know, I don't claim to know everything. There's a lot of noise going out there in this movement. My intention is that this falls on the right people's ears and who it's meant to help and heal. So with that said, everyone, thank you so much for joining us. And
thank you.
I'm going to have both of you on again, and this is going to go on my main channel as well once I get off my strike. This is on my backup. So yes, thank you everybody, and I will see you soon.
Thank you so much. Thank you.